We have all seen our share of provocative magazine covers, but the cover of the latest Bloomberg magazine on the housing market has some Twin Cities community groups saying it went too far. Fox 9's Jonathan Cho pulls back the cover on this one for us tonight. Jonathan?
Yeah, Tim, we reached out to the cover artist, Andres Guzman, who lives in Minneapolis, but he didn't get back to us. As for the controversy, this is one where editors of Bloomberg Businessweek now wish the public did not judge this magazine by its cover.
This is the latest issue of Bloomberg Businessweek, a financial news magazine with global distribution. But if you look closer at the cover, you'll see what seems to be a cash-grabbing family, portrayed as stereotypical caricatures with the headline, "The Great American Housing Rebound." But here's the problem. The actual story has nothing to do with minority home ownership, and that's why Bloomberg Businessweek is taking a beating from critics.
Real story is that half of Latinos and African-American families have lost half of their wealth in this housing bubble, and that's nothing to joke about.
Scott Gray, the president and CEO of the Minneapolis Urban League, says this cover could discourage lending to minorities and perpetuate stereotypes in communities of color.
If families are feeling that if African-Americans or Latinos are moving to a neighborhood and property values are going down, I would say shame on them.
And that's a concern for Oscar Batista and his 8-member family from Mexico. They're renting a 1-bedroom apartment in St. Paul, but one day wants to own a home of their own.
I feel discouraged because it's going to affect my family. It's going to bring them down because it's a bad look for us.
The editor of Bloomberg Businessweek issued an apology for the insensitive cover, and the artist, Andres Guzman, who's living in Minneapolis, only responded to the controversy on his Tumblr page saying, quote, "I was asked to make an excited family with large quantities of money."
This was a Peruvian artist who drew this imagery from his own personal cultural experience. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Pioneer Press reporter Julio Ojeda-Zapata, who's also of Latino descent, says this was a simple case of cultural misinterpretation.
He probably did not think about how this might be perceived by non-Latinos, non-African Americans in the United States. That was the job of the editors, to catch that.
Well, cultural interpretation or not, critics are still outraged by the cover, concerned the imagery could hinder some minorities targeted by predatory lenders in the last housing crash from fully participating in this current housing recovery. Tim?
All right, thanks.